Double honors to the elders, single honors to the apostles, preaching and teaching us this word of truth. And with sincerity, as always, of the great millstone or like-minded camps. Week in and week out, we come to prophesy a downfall that's going to come here to America. The destruction of America, and to tell our people on this sign, all you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, who you guys are. So, without any further ado, America is going to be destroyed. Let's get into Revelation 17 and 16. If you want to get that from me, Revelation 17 and 16. So going into NATO, basically, is going to betray America. And you already see that happening basically with Trump making stupid decisions, because it's not up to him on what decisions he can make. It's these higher elites, known as the Rothschilds, the wicked elites, who are telling him what to do. Because really, Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah, he really is not killed. He's under a bunker. And all your presidents are in on it. And ultimately, the elites are planning on America being destroyed with 200 million missiles. Because they're also planning on the mark of the beast coming out.
That's right.
And you can get that going.
Yep. This is Revelation chapter 17 and verse 16. It says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire." Okay, that's going into what?
They shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
Yep.
You guys think it's...
Yeah, that's going into these allied, so-called allied nations. Okay, the beast system, which is those European nations. You got, okay, the main 7, okay, which are, I forget exactly all of them, but I think it's France, Spain, Britain, Germania Major, Germania Minor, Greece, Rome. Is that them all? I believe that was them all. And then you have the 10 vassal states, which in the Roman Empire, you had basically the 10 barbarian tribes. Okay, now going under the EU and NATO. Okay, these nations are going to hate America because of what America is causing them to get involved in. Okay, not only economically, but militarily. Now, because America and the little hats, okay, the fake Israelites, have started this war in the Middle East, France is going to have to get involved. Great Britain is going to have to get involved. Everybody's going to have to get involved. And war, one thing war does is it destroys your economy. Okay, it destroys your economy because all your resources got to go to your armies, your militias. Okay, this is why. All right, this is why these other nations that are allied with the United States are eventually going to come to the conclusion, all right, that it's no longer economically sustainable, okay, to do dealings with the United States of America. And they're already starting to look for other routes, look for other alternative economic outlets other than the United States of America, which will be destroyed, by the way. So, go ahead.
Trump's already making decisions. I saw earlier in the news this week. So we look at the news. If you can get a second, just 9.
Yep.
We look at the news, and I saw earlier just before coming to camp today, how Germany, now the Chancellor of Germany, Merz, he ain't agreeing with this Iran and Trump war. And they also Spain and France, they have already said that they ain't with this war. They even said that that's all propaganda. Trump started that war. So you already see NATO getting divided. Trump already stopped funding much of NATO's weapon systems as well. And that's proceeding back to Revelation 17. And that was us looking at the news, watching the news. Hence why the brother's going to get this.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 9, verse 1. It says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
So we're looking at the news, and that's how we can tell. Because we know already Revelation 17, and plus you got to know the scriptures to know the end.
Right.
You can't just be looking at the news. And ultimately, the Lord has to impart unto you the spirit to get these prophecies and add the news all together, which that's only been given to the prophets. Starting with Apostle Paul on down to me in the Akio here. And also, I believe U.S., the United States, well, we already know their military is already weak. They're spending all this money on weapons that really are useless, like the shit carrier. That costs like $100 millions of dollars to make that. And it's actually just useless. So, and then there are troops, they really don't have that many troops, boots on the ground. Once this does get to boots on the ground. And also, because I saw the U.S. basically they took out of Taiwan this powerful weapon missile defense system. And me personally, I think that's what's going to lead these other NATO nations to furthermore depart from that American alliance.
Yep.
The U.S. is going to be that piece of shit that gets his friends to a fight, a knife fight, but then and then running. Once you get into that fight, they're gonna be running.
Mind if I add to that?
Yeah.
That's exactly what they did to these Gulf states. Okay, the only reason why America and the West has hegemon in the Middle East is because they have a deal known as the petrodollar with all those Gulf states. In order for every country in the world to get oil, to get energy for their nation, what do they got to do? They got to deal in U.S. dollars to buy that oil. Okay, which was a deal that was finalized between America and those Gulf states. So in return, America promised them that they would have military protection from the United States of America. But look what we see now. When the world actually starts, what did America do? America abandoned every single one of those states, okay, and allowed them to get bombed by Iran. Okay, so now these nations want no dealings with Babylon the Great because it's the devil. You're dealing with the devil. When you make a deal with the devil, okay, he's not trustworthy. Okay.
You got more on that second Ezra's 9, but I can
go back to that. I was going to get Jeremiah 25, but I'll get that. This is second Ezra's, chapter 9, verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world.
Earthquakes and uproars of people in the world, and you just had tornadoes and earths and strong winds hit Michigan here recently.
Yep.
You had a big ass earthquake hit. I think it was the biggest earthquake, second largest earthquake hit Louisiana. And you having uproars right now in Iran due to this war.
Yep.
So that's uproars of people, earthquakes. And so the Lord's already divided this place, man. Hence also why NATO is going to continue to divide and ultimately depart from America's alliance.
Right. Verse 4 says, Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High Yahweh spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
Continue.
For as like all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, the end is manifest.
So the end is manifest. And you can get whatever you got. And so the end is being manifested. JK listening? You got something to say?
Yeah, the end is made manifest, okay? Clearly, to me and the op right here, and the brothers that believe, the true, sincere believers in Yahushua, we can clearly see the end is here, man. We can clearly see that the Heavenly Father Yahweh is getting ready to bring down great wrath on this place because it's all filled with wickedness. Ain't nothing good down here, okay? All these people are going off, all right? The Israelites especially, we really focused on you Israelites because you're the ones that are supposed to be holy and separate from these nations, okay? So, let me get this. Because the Lord is bringing great judgment, So guess what? I'm going to read about what the Lord said he was going to do to these nations, which he's in the beginning stages of right now. Okay, this is Jeremiah chapter 25. Let me start at verse 14. It says, "For many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of them also, and I will recompense them according to their deeds and according to the works of their own hands." So the Lord already prophesied that we were going to go into slavery, captivity, under many different nations. America is not different. You might grab me something. Can you get me Jeremiah 49 and verse, just start from the top. Verse 15, "For thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, power of Israel, unto me, take thine wine cup of his fury at mine hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it, and they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them." So that's what, like the Ak was saying earlier, these nations are upset now. Because guess what? They were drinking that wine of Babylon. Okay? I believe that's also Revelation, the 17th chapter. Okay? And the 18th chapter. Okay? They're drinking the wine of Babylon. They're drunk. And now they're realizing that that wine was poison. All right? That dealing with America, dealing with the so-called white man in the West, is nothing but a death sentence. Okay? It's an invitation to be colonized. All right?
Can I get this?
Yeah, let me hear that first verse.
Jeremiah 49 and 1. "Concerning the Ammonites, thus says the Lord Yahweh, hath Israel no sons? Hath he no hair? Why then doth their king inherit Gad, and his people dwell in his cities?"
So the Lord is talking about one of the captivities of one of our enemies that he sent against us, which was the Ammonites. Okay? Also today known as the Japanese. Okay? Though they actually put us into captivity as well during the time of Judges. All right? And guess what? The Lord said, had Israel no son, hath he no heir. Just like we went into captivity, we had no rights and no inheritance among the nations. Okay, we had no rights and no inheritance here in America. Okay, we're under this oppressive system, this beast system right now, and it seems like we have no heir, we have no rights, we have no inheritance. Okay, but we're here to tell you that we actually do. We actually have the most precious inheritance. Okay, it is written all throughout the gospel. Let me continue here. Jeremiah 25, verse 15. "For thus saith the Lord, power of Israel, unto me, take the wine cup of his fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I shall send thee to drink it. And they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them. Then took I the cup of the Lord's hand, and made all the nations to drink, and to whom the Lord had sent me, to wit, Jerusalem and the cities of Judah and the kings thereof and the princes thereof, to make them a desolation and an astonishment, a hissing and a curse, as it is this day." As it is this day, it's like that reminds me of the meme from Anthony Wilder, that boxer, where he says, to this day, to this very day, the nations look at the Israelites as a bewilderment, as something to be dishonored and disrespected, the lowest among the low. Okay? But that's another reason why the Heavenly Father is going to be bring this harsh punishment upon Babylon the Great and the other nations. All right?
You got anything on Isaiah 49?
Read that second verse. Actually, skip down to where it talks about Edom. It talks about, I think it's verse 8.
Yeah, I'm going to get this. Okay, yeah. "Concerning the Ammonites, thus says in that scripture there also shows that it says, why doth then their king inherit Gad? Why doth their king inherit Gad?" Which proves this is America. Because this is Gad. Land's Gad. And inherit Gad, and his people dwell in his cities. His cities. You're looking at his fucking city right fucking now.
That's right.
Well, this is verse 7 right here. "Concerning Edom, thus says Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman?" Which that spirit, because I read this earlier today.
That's right.
"No more in Teman, is counsel perished from the prudent. Is their wisdom vanished?" Is their wisdom vanished? Because Edom's wisdom does look vanished. Trump's wisdom does look vanished.
They're making some pretty stupid decisions right now.
"Flee ye, turn back, blow deep, O inhabitants of Dedan." I'm not sure what Dedan is, but I think that's, you know what Dedan is?
I believe that's one of the tribes of Edom.
"For I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him."
Yep.
And this is the time the Lord is going to visit America. It says in verse 9, if great gatherers come to thee, which Esau Edom is a so-called white man once again. Prophesied about in Genesis 25 to 25, Genesis 3, Genesis 4, 2 Ezra 6 and 9. I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. 9. If great gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If these by night they will destroy till they have enough. 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not.
Yep.
Verse 11, leave thy fatherless children, I will preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me. For thus says Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai, the true name of the Father, the true name of the Son once again. Behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup, have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall go altogether unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. 13, I have sworn by myself, says Yahweh, that Basra is the capital of Edom, or was the capital of Edom.
That's right.
Shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse. And all the cities thereof shall be perpetual wastes. And if you go back to ancient Basra today, it's not a perpetual waste.
Yeah.
So we know that's not talking about ancient capital of Edom.
Yeah.
Edom, the so-called white man. Edom means red. Ancient modern day Basra there, that's going to be the complete desolations. So that's talking about America today.
Mind if I add to that? Because right there it said, art thou he who shall surely go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished. Thou shalt surely drink of the cup. That cup is the same cup that I read about in Jeremiah, the 25th chapter. Okay, that cup of wrath that the Lord is about to put upon all these nations, man. The Lord is angry. The Lord is upset. The Lord is furious with these people out here. He's about to make them drink of the cup. And right now, what is this? Is this St. Patrick's Day today or something?
Yeah, it's got
It must be some wicked holiday or something, because we see a lot of people on St. Patrick's Day walk around drinking. But that's one reason, okay? These people have gotten Jake, okay, to participate in this wickedness, right? And I didn't even know it was St. Patrick's Day, you know? I didn't even know it was that wicked holiday. But guess what? That's actually a sign that we're not part of this world, man. You're not part of this world. We don't want to participate in these holidays, okay? Let me get something real quick. Go ahead.
It's, Jeremiah 49 verse 50. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen, and despised among men. And I read that scripture earlier today, and that hit hard, bro, because it says, I will make thee small among the heathen. And that fits right in line with Joel 3 and 10. Let the weak say, I am strong. America ain't in its glory days anymore. The Afghan days, the Vietnam War, the World War II, when they could actually, their military could have actually taken on Russia head on. They ain't in those days anymore. And so it's also funny because it's like these people are celebrating, and they're not supposed to be if they knew this, they wouldn't be celebrating this shit. So that's why that's because the Lord has blinded them.
Yep. And little do they know, all these young men out here celebrating St. Patrick's Day, they're about to be drafted into the military and sent over there as cannon fodder, okay, to get chewed up by the Iranian war machine.
And it says as well, it says down in this verse, and despised among men, and as their military is becoming more weaker and weaker, they're also, Esau and Edom, America is also being despised at the same time.
That's right.
Hence why you got Edomites talking shit against their own American country here. They got Edomites coming out complaining about prices, talking about they want to. It's not even worth fighting. This place ain't even worth fighting for anything. Their own colonel generals looking at Trump like he doesn't know what's going on.
Yep.
Alex Jones, the brother. I was listening to what the brother was playing some Alex Jones. Alex Jones was even talking about Trump ain't no military man. What kind of decisions is he making on?
And you know what's funny? Trump is a Teemanite. Okay, his father was born in Germany, so Trump is a Teemanite. And what did we just read? Is wisdom perished from Teman, right? Is the counsel of the prudent vanished? So that's actually a good scripture for Donald Trump. Is wisdom perished from Teman, or whatever it is? I believe it was at the top of there. But the Lord knows that Esau Edom is no longer making those wise military decisions. Okay, they're making very unrighteous, unsmart, unwise decisions that's going to lead to the military getting into a massive battle that they're not ready for.
I got this verse 6. That terribleness had deceived thee. That was back in when the military was terrible. That terribleness hath deceived thee, and that pride of thine heart. Like all these people represent the pride of America here.
That's right.
Hence why it's called likened unto a whore, a woman that pops many men. Those are the most proudest women.
Yeah.
That woman talks about she pops 100. She's popped 100 men. She's already proud, and it's not really funny. These people laugh about it like it's just funny. Like no, it's not funny, bro. This shit needs to be destroyed. They're so docile. That's how wicked this place is. They're so docile. That's become so normal to them. They just laugh about it. But no, that shit is actually wicked.
Yep.
You're supposed to kill a woman, kill a whore like that. And it says here, that holdest the height of the hill, thou that shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, says Yahweh. 17 also, Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. The plagues the Lord is sending, the economic plague, destruction the Lord is sending. That's how it says right there. All they that shall be astonished, because that's how people get on camera, cry in their cars and talk about how you used to find a job easier out here in America's old economy.
That's right.
The movies used to be so good here in America. It's the dating life, the finding a wife here used to be good here in America. Now what these elites done did, because that goes back to their letter to Mazzini, Albert Pike's letter, how these people shall be so divided, and it goes right into that scripture, a house divided cannot stand. It says, and also Edom shall be a desolation, everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah. People forgot what the Lord did thousands of years ago. However thousands of years ago that was. Maybe 4,000, 6,000, about 6,000 years ago. And what the Lord did, the Lord destroyed a city, and this was a smaller city than what America is, with fire. He's done flooded this bitch with water. So the Lord's gonna flood you little young niggas, man. Anyway, it says right here, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighboring cities thereof, says Yahweh, a man shall abide there, no man. This is no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. Amen. That didn't happen, and that technically didn't happen with Sodom. Well, it did happen with Sodom and Gomorrah, but at least for that, you can still go over there and swim on the little marshes over there. That ain't gonna happen with this bitch.
Let me continue on. Jeremiah 25, in verse you start at verse 20. Start at verse 19. It says, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and his servants, and his princes, and all his people. Today we're in the spiritual Egypt. This America is Egypt. Okay. It says, and all the mingled people, because what is America called? The melting pot. Okay, so that you got every nation that's walking around here right now in the streets of America. Okay, it says, and all the mingled people, and all the kings of the land of Uz, and all the kings of the land of the Philistines, and Ashkelon, and Ahaz, and Ekron, and the remnant of Ashdod. 21. Edom, and Moab, and the children of Ammon, and all the kings of Tyre, and the kings of Zidon, and the kings of the isles which are beyond the sea, Dedan, and Tema, and Buz, and all that are in the outermost corners, and all the kings of Arabia, and the kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert. And that's talking about those Arabs. Those are the Ishmaelites right now. Okay? Because if you go to Genesis, the 16th chapter, okay, Genesis, the 16th chapter talks about how Ishmael was going to be mingled amongst many peoples. Okay? Now, when you look up the word mixed or mingled in the Old Testament, the Hebrew word is Arab. Okay? So that comes today, the English translation, which is Arab. So the word Arab is a Hebrew word which means mixed or mingled. Okay, showing you that Ishmael is those Arabs over there. Okay, and the Lord just told him that it's also going to be Ishmael that's going to drink of that cup. All right. It says, and all the kings of Zimri, and all the kings of Elam, and all the kings of the Medes, and the kings of the north, far and near, one with another, and the kingdoms of the world which are on the face of the earth, and the kings of Sheshach shall drink after them. So everybody's about to get ready to drink this cup of wrath, man. Okay? When America goes down, there goes the entire world's economy. Because everybody's fiat currency is pegged to the dollar, which is about to crash. It says, therefore thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the power of Israel, drink ye and be drunken. It says, and spew and fall and raise no more. I'm thinking about Revelation 17. Let me grab that real quick. This is Revelation chapter 17. It says, and I'm starting verse 4. And it says, and the woman was arrayed with purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. That's that wine, okay, that everybody was drinking. All those kings that I listed off in Jeremiah 25, that's that wine that Babylon spreads around the world, okay? And it says, and upon her forehead was written the name, Mystery Babylon, the great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the saints. Drunk with the blood of the saints, talking about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you true Israelites, the biblical bloodline, okay, that goes back to Jacob, okay? The Babylon the Great, which is AKA the United States of America, is drunk with your blood, okay? Think about how many millions upon millions of Native American souls were slaughtered here in this nation, okay? How many millions upon millions of so-called African American, okay, West Indian and Haitian souls were slaughtered here in America. How many Issacharites, so-called Mexicans, had to die on the west coast of America in the annexing of that territory from the country of Mexico, okay? Babylon is drunk with that blood, okay? And I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered at her, and I wondered with great admiration. Because, yeah, from the outside, you look at America, it does look, pretty nice, right? Looks like a rich nation. Everybody's, driving nice cars. Everybody got big houses and all that. But that's just the show, man. That's the witchcraft. Okay, when you look up close, you see all the nastiness, the warts and the disease. Okay, the people are depressed and all hooked on drugs and shit. Okay, it really ain't shit here. Okay, other nations have got it much better than we got it here. So let me go back. Jeremiah 25. Start back at verse 29. Verse 28. And it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup at thine hand to drink, then shalt thou say unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, ye shall certainly drink. See, this is what a problem. A lot of the problem that people have is when me and the Ak come out here, we talk about the judgment that's coming upon these other nations. they get mad because they don't want to actually experience that. That's the whole point of Christianity. That's why Christianity says what? No matter what you do in life, you can just say, I believe in Jesus at the end, and you don't have to get punished. That's what Christianity says. But the Lord told Jeremiah to say what? He says, and it shall be if they refuse to take the cup, and they refuse to take the cup that we're saying is coming upon them. Okay? It says, if they refuse to take the cup at thine hand to drink, then shalt thou say unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, ye shall certainly drink. And that's what we're saying. You can't get away. The so-called white man is not going to get away with what he did to the earth, man. To the Israelites, to the saints. You got to pay for that. Okay?
Yeah, like the brother mentioned on people from, especially from outside countries, poor, more impoverished, famished countries. You literally got countries where people are starving to death.
That's right.
Particularly Sudan, Mali, and certain parts of East of Africa, Afghanistan, even in places like Haiti. So they'll look at this place and be like, wow, this is it. Because they're fucking simple. You see, this place is not it because you gotta look closer. You can't look simple. You can't look with the outer eye. You gotta look in the inward parts.
Spiritually discerned.
So, these people have these presidents, they're set up and they worshiping all their leaders here in America, all the richest people here in America, Bezos and all them, they fucking worship Baphomet, Satan. They're into satanic rituals. And that's why this Isaiah 47, verse 5, you city of the Babylonians, sit there quietly, go and hide in a dark place. People no longer call you the queen of all kingdoms. And that's what's happening already. Hence why that's also prime example because a few weeks ago, not too long ago, when the Israel-Iraq war started, didn't they take that, they burned that Baphomet statue over there?
Yeah.
Because they basically said that represented America.
That's right.
That idol right there, the Baal, Baphomet. And this is verse 5. You city of the Babylonians, sit there quietly, go and hide in a dark place. People no longer call you the queen of all kingdoms. I was angry with my own people. The Lord's anger is his people. People that done forgot. The average simple Joe Schmo ass person out here, which most of these people, they forgot what happened to this people on this side here. Because they've been because the heathens don't give a fuck about us, and because Jakes, they done got so defeated, they just decided to give in and give up. They got the defeated mentality. I was angry at my own people, but the Lord didn't forget. That's why we're out here. That's why I'm reading the scripture. That's why the scripture is being read out. I was angry at my own people on this sign here. You just had a simple ass, it's just correct, headphones on. He probably just came back from winning millions of dollars. His daddy probably has millions of bucks for his little bank account. He had his headphones on listening to music. There is a Carlito fucking cowboy boots on. And he fucking looked at this sign right here, my nigga. And he was like, he just kept passing by. I'm gonna keep walking. Why? Because he's a nigga. Jakes are niggas. People will no longer call you the queen of all kingdoms. I was angry with my own people. They belong to me as my special people. But I punished them like ordinary people. I gave you the power to hurt them. Going back to what the brother also referenced. This reference to slavery. Referencing the murdering of what happened to our people. If you were to go back, I mean, us now, we can't imagine in the scale of what it was, like how our ancestors would have already seen it and dealt it, man. How Esau dealt it. We've seen it, but Esau dealt that hand. That spade on our ass. I got the spade. And he pulled that on our ass and killed our ass. Well, next thing, Howard Shah's about to come in with a gun on his ass.
A laser beam.
Next time he tries to pull that spade.
Yeah.
That what's that shit called? That Smith & Wesson.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the cowboy hat on.
That's right. That's right. Let me continue here. Jeremiah chapter 25, verse 29. For lo, I begin to bring evil on the city which is called by my name, and ye shall be utterly unpunished. It says, for lo, I begin to bring evil on the city which is called by my name, which is the Israelites, these people right here, Jerusalem, Yasharallah. Okay? It says, yet shall, Slacky, let me start over. For lo, I begin to bring evil on the city which is called by my name, and should ye be utterly unpunished? Ye shall not be unpunished, for I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth, said the Lord of hosts. That sword is going to culminate in the nuclear transaction, all right? The nuclear exchange of missiles between these nations, okay? Therefore prophesy thou against them all these words, and say unto them, the Lord Yahweh shall roar from on high, and utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout as they that tread the grapes against the inhabitants of the earth. Right now, we're standing upon a high mountain, raising that standard. Okay, we're giving that warning, we're giving that signal. All right, doing our job as watchmen over the house of Israel. Okay, letting you know that this judgment is about to take place in America. You're about to see the collapse of society. All right, you're about to see the collapse of what happens when the greatest empire ever to exist in human history. You're about to experience what happens when it collapses. And let me tell you something. When you get into these prophecies, one thing you learn is that when you experience the collapse of a nation, because that's what the Bible is about, the rise and fall of empires. And we're about to see another one, okay? And there's a lot of death, famine. So wait for this. We continue. So verse 30. It's like it. Verse 31. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth. For the Lord Yahweh hath a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. Behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. These bombs are about to drop, and Yahweh Shai is about to come back with them chariots. I've been seeing a lot more videos on the chariots lately. Okay, one lady, she was looking at a chariot, and she had like a really expensive camera, and she zoomed in on the chariot, and you could see all the detail. It would look like a ball of fire. It was like a flaming ball of fire is what it looked like. Okay, just exactly what Ezekiel, the first chapter, describes is exactly what it looked like. It was in 4K too, real zoomed in. Okay, and then she started going off talking about, do you know Jesus and all that type of stuff? And what she doesn't understand is that chariot, that angel that is on that chariot is coming here to destroy her ass, man. Okay? And that's the evils that we're reading about.
Yeah, because that's what the scriptures say, man. The Lord is going to come in an armada of shit. And if your spirit ain't right with that, the Lord is checking that shit, man.
Ooh, I got one right here. The next verse says, and the slain of the Lord Yahweh shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried. Okay, that goes into all these bodies that are about to be the result of World War III and the return of Yahweh Shai and the nuclear missiles. Okay, it says, nor buried, they shall be dung upon the ground. Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, the Lord is about to slaughter so many people in the world, but especially in Babylon the Great. Okay, that's our main message, is to Babylon the Great.
It's Isaiah 47. I had a bit more here in Isaiah 47, verse 7. You boasted, I will rule other nations as queen forever. That's what America did. But guess what? Yahweh always sees through people's thoughts and intents in their heart. I will rule over other nations as queen forever. But you did not think about what you were doing. You did not think about what would happen in the end. Yeah, and America hasn't planned on the end. On if we lose, if it's possibility we lose this war. Because they are going to lose this war. You're going to go up against a god in chariots. A chariot. I mean, how do you even, like Brother said last time, how do you even manage, compromise the price of chariot ships? How the fuck do you do that, bro? You cannot do that. It said, I will rule other nations as queen forever, but you did not think about what you were doing. You did not think about what would happen in the end. Hey, so listen to me. Babylon. Babylon is Babal in the Hebrew. It means confusion. Because in here in America, you got a ton of confusion.
That's right.
The man wanted to be woman. The woman wanted to be man. I just saw a video of some young black Eve, like trying to be like a man and shit. She's talking like a man, and that's a huge thing in the Israelite, particularly, especially the black woman, the tribe of Judah. A lot, the girls and the women, females in that tribe would like to be dykes, want to be dykes, and act abominable. That shit is abominable. I will rule other nations as queen forever, she says. 8. You love to enjoy expensive things. It says in verse 6, I gave you the power to hurt them, and you were not kind to them. Yeah, and America wasn't kind to the nation right here. And so the Lord hasn't forgotten that, and the Lord is still going to judge that. Verse 9. See, that's how you know it's from Yahweh-yah-ahla, because Yahweh-yah-ahla said that the Lord's just look at the Old Testament. You can just get the Old Testament. Yahweh-yah says that as well, but the Lord's already dealt with a few number, so that His power can be more magnified.
That's right.
And this is a prime example when the Lord he said that He chose Israel, which was a little nation at the time. Not as far as numbers, but as far as technology and being advanced wise goes.
We were new.
We were new to it.
Brand new.
We didn't even know how to start to begin building a nation.
Yeah.
When you go into the Judges, the Lord always chose. At one account, He lowered the numbers so that they could know that He was the one. So they could know. The Lord Yahweh was the one that gave us this victory over the heathen. Same son. And many other accounts like that. So on this side, man, many people there ignoring this word. They don't even know who Yahweh is. If they were to tell you Baal or Satan or Jehovah, they would be like, oh yeah, I know that God. But you tell them Yahweh, they're like, what the fuck is a Yahweh?
Just like He told Abraham, I was not well known by this name, right? But in the last days, the Lord said He's going to make His name well known. He's going to be famous. His name is going to be made famous by the men of the Lord, okay, and by His judgments. All right? People are going to know that it's the Lord, Yahweh, that did all these things. All right?
And I can't wait for that day, all right? When Yahweh is praised.
Grab this. Zechariah.
I'm not saying.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not saying, bro, that to be all rude, bro, but yeah, man, that name Yahweh will be praised.
That's right.
He is going to be praised. I'm just saying, though, like, what the fuck is a Yahweh? Like, these people don't know what Yahweh is. They wouldn't bow down to Yahweh. They don't know that name hasn't been known in a long time. But Yahweh will make that name known.
Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 1, it says, behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses raffled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall the Lord Yahweh go forth and fight against those nations as when he fought in the day of battle. So the Lord says, after the Israelites get off of their punishment by these nations, then the Lord always does something after that. He always goes and punishes the nations that put their hands on the children of Israel, man. Okay? That's what happens in the sequence of things. All right? It's an order. Israel gets punished, and then the other nations gets punished for what they did to Israel. It's the same thing today. It says, then shall the Lord go forth and fight against those nations as when he fought in the day of battle, and his feet shall stand in the day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east, and the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east and toward the west. And there shall be a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall remove toward the north, and half toward the south. Ye shall flee to the valley of mountains, for the valley of mountains shall reach unto Azal. Yea, ye shall flee. So the Israelites were scattered as a result of these judgments. Okay, this is why you have Israelites that are going to come looking like the other nations. Okay, this is why we always teach that it's a spiritual thing. Okay, it's not just about what you look like, but it's also about your spirit. All right. Let me skip down here a little bit. Verse 9, it says, and the Lord Yahweh shall be king over all the earth. In that day shall there be one Lord, and his name one. So like the Ak just got done saying, the Lord's name Yahweh and his only begotten son's name Yahushua is going to be made famous. All right. Not many people know that name right now, but trust me, it's going to be known. Okay, as a matter of fact, it's going to be the only name called upon, in the kingdom of heaven. Ain't going to be no other names called upon in the kingdom of heaven, okay?
It's Isaiah 47 and 9, but these two things shall come to thee. Well, actually 8, so listen to me, Babylon. You love to enjoy expensive things. You think that you are strong and safe. You say to yourself, here I am. There is nobody as good as I am. I will never be alone as a widow. Never lose my children. That children there represents the whole population of America and all those that look up to us, that are gain something from it. All these people walking down up the street right now. Yep. America's gonna lose all these people out here. Verse 9, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection. For the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thy enchantments, going into their left-handed magic that their power is worship. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, they have burdened thee. Yeah, how they do it underground, all in secret. They said, none seeth me, thy wisdom and thy knowledge. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. Because with this left-handed magic and left-handed practices, they've been building America up. Still till this day, they're still building America up by left-handed means, rituals and stuff. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels, let not the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble, fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Because America's gonna be, there's not gonna be nothing left here. 15, thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants. Because America's a huge importer of goods. Even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter, none shall save thee. Because ultimately all these nations, and especially all those with missile capabilities, they're gonna basically stab America.
Everybody's gonna stop trade here. Nobody's gonna trade here. Okay, nobody's gonna want to do business. Like we said at the beginning of this camp, nobody wants to deal with America anymore. Everybody realizes that doing a deal with the devil is how you get destroyed. All right. Zechariah 14:10 says, all the land shall be turned as plain from Gabar to Ramon, south of Jerusalem, and shall be lifted up, and inhabited in her place, from Benjamin's gate unto the place of the first gate, unto the corner gate, from the tower of Hananeel, that's how you say it, unto the king's winepress. And men shall dwell in it, and there shall be no more utter destruction, but Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited. So the question is, how is it that Jerusalem is not being safely inhabited today? It's because we're not at the end of that prophecy. That prophecy has not been fulfilled yet. Guess what? Those people in the land of Israel today are bastards. They're illegitimate. Those are not the Israelites. Those are the Israelites, okay? They are people that are trying to portray themselves to be the people of the Lord, when everybody now knows in the world that that is the synagogue of Satan. This is why Tel Aviv is getting the, I believe Elder Malcolm said, Tel Aviv is getting the Gaza treatment right now, okay? Those buildings over there in Tel Aviv and Haifa, I believe it's Haifa and Tel Aviv are the main cities in Israel. They're getting blown up right now, okay? You can walk through Tel Aviv right now and see buildings completely destroyed by Iranian missiles, okay? And the Lord said that the Israelites, when they get back to that land, that they're going to dwell safely. So you got to ask yourself the question, if prophecy is predicated on the Israelites returning to that land, then who are the Israelites? Because clearly those people are not, all right? Verse 12, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord shall smite all the people that fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand on their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great multitude from the Lord Yahweh shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. So the Lord said the plague, the punishment for fighting against the Lord and his people is going to be what? You're going to be consumed in thermonuclear radiated fire, okay? Think about Terminator 2, okay? I believe that's Terminator, the second movie, okay? When that nuclear bomb went off in Los Angeles, and what happened? It was a vision that she received, and she exploded right there from the heat, from the blast wave of that nuclear bomb going off. Okay, so that's the plague that's going to come upon America. Let's go. Got something?
Yeah, this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So this is it's at an appointed time when the only God they're gonna, everyone's gonna bow to, but it does say every knee shall bow. It's gonna be Yahweh. And there's gonna come a time when all America's gonna be forgotten. This place will not be remembered. 4, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. The elect is going to live by our faith. Yep. It says in 2 Ezra 15, For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. That's all these people, all these heathens. Jehu is heathens. Have been given up into a heathen mind state. Yea, also because he transgresses by wine. Thy wine represents all his wickedness, his pride. He is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. And is as deaf, it cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
It says he doesn't keep at home. This is why he's over there in the Middle East right now, okay, in someone else's house, someone else's inheritance land, and slaughtering people. Okay? They don't stay where they're supposed to stay. They go all around the world trying to conquer and colonize the whole earth, man.
6, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe me, that's destruction to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that landeth himself with thick clay. And that thick clay is that debt. I believe that America's debt is at 40 trillion.
I think they've already spent like $1 trillion on this war already in the first week. You know?
7, shall not they rise up? Suddenly that shall bite thee, and a wick that shall vex thee. That's them other nations deciding to retaliate. And thou shalt be for buoys unto them. It says, woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house. Once again, Esau warning everybody, everything. Same thing the Roman Empire did. They wanted to take every territory. And so, but what ended up happening is they done expanded too largely, and then they weren't planning on disease and an economic inflation happening, so that they only had to keep their military so that they could keep on fighting that war.
Yeah.
But what happened? That shit all turned on to naught. And then you had a newer and better empires that rose, that was the pagan Roman Empire.
Yeah.
And so that's what you see. That's essentially that peak where Rome fell. That's where America's at right now. You don't want it to go everywhere. You were proud. You were worshiping idols, worshiping kingdoms. The Lord destroyed kingdoms because they worshiped idols. They did not acknowledge Him. Prime example, Nebuchadnezzar. Prime example, Nineveh, Egypt, and the Lord destroyed those kingdoms. Why? Because they weren't seeking after Him. You see, but the nation of Israel, the nation of Gabar-yah-ahla, Yah means He, sharp prince of Allah power. See, we're going to be risen up because we're praising Yahweh.
Israelites.
Because we're praising Yahweh Shema Shah. It says in the Sirach, the Lord, you get that in Sirach 10? I think that's Sirach 10.
Yeah. The book.
I'll get this first. Because once again, Habakkuk 2 and 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establisheth a city by iniquity. Behold, it's not of the Yahweh Shema Shah host, that the people shall labor in the very fire, and the people shall weary themselves for vanity. And that's what all these people are doing right now. Essentially. That's what these people are doing right now, man. If they don't have this truth, that's essentially what these people are doing. They're just building this place up to get destroyed, but with fire. It says 15, woe to him that giveth his neighbor drink, and putteth thy bottle to him, and makest him drunk, and also that thou mayest look on his nakedness. And that essentially represents Esau making us degenerate, making Jake degenerate, drunk, so that we are what we are right now. Pookies and ray-rays, dykes, faggots, homosexuals. You got a lot of faggots, and even pedophiles that are Israelites. There are Israelites that are pedophiles. Can you believe that?
And they did that because they found out that if we're trapped in a cycle and a culture of sin and we don't know it, the Heavenly Father will fight against us. So that they basically made us do the heavy lifting for them. Okay, the Heavenly Father will destroy us if we are the ones that are doing the sin. So that's why Esau pushes sin in his culture. Okay? I got the Sirach. This is Sirach chapter 10 and verse 8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings and injustices and injuries and riches got by deceit, the kingdom.
Verse 1. Sorry.
Verse 7?
Verse 1.
Verse 1. Sirach 10 and 1, it says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered.
A wise judge will be teaching these laws, statutes, and commandments. It says, fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The fear of knowledge, the knowledge is the beginning of wisdom. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge, and the beginning of wisdom. And a wise judge will be teaching his people to command law, statutes, commandments, which law, statutes, commandments were given to Israel's enemies. They were given to Israel, so obviously because our enemies are over us, they're going to be teaching us the opposite. Hence why I said in Habakkuk, woe to him that giveth his neighbor strong drink, that you may look at his nakedness. Proven nakedness is that your shame, the pride, the sins. Going back to Adam and Eve being found naked in the garden, because they were going off. That was what that nakedness there means. Not what you fake ass Christians talking about. They were literally naked.
They also think they were white. Just some bullshit. They think the snake was an actual talking snake. Fairy tales, man. Okay? No spirit, no spiritual discernment at all. Alright? Verse 2. As the judge of a people himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of a city is, such are all they that dwell therein. So these wicked ass Edomites are the rulers, right? Therefore, what does that mean? It means all their citizens are going to be like them. They're going to be wicked. This is why America is totally corrupt, because it's led by totally corrupt people, man. Yep.
Yeah, that's all these people walking by, passing by, man.
Yep.
They're under that Edomite vibration.
Yep.
That Edomite spirit.
Correct.
You're not under Yahweh Shai spirit. Because Yahweh Shai ain't the ruler. He ain't the ruler right now. When Yahweh Shai is the ruler, you're going to see all of them under that spirit of Yahweh Shai.
Don't the scripture say, woe to them that take counsel but not of my spirit? You know?
But me and the brother here, the Akia here, we're basically like doing our best to rehearse that spirit of Yahweh Shai, man.
That's right.
Not eating pork, not committing adultery. Those are the simple laws. Essentially, right now we gotta do that while in battle. Because the Lord's putting us through shit. Okay, we gotta do this while we're put on that fire. The Lord's holding us on that fire. See, so however long He decides. Hence why we want to also get the fuck out of here, man, because we're tired of catching hell.
That's right.
But we're hastening the coming. Jake, whereas Jake, he can't see he's catching hell because ultimately the Lord also ain't allowing him to see it. The Lord has to have a select of the Israel destroyed. And so whereas to them they're just accepting this like this is it, man. This is just a regular body, normal body that gets disease. This is it. This is life right here. A woman that was used already, And a wicked ass satanic school system. And yeah, that's it. That's just life. Do you like to see something greater dreams than that?
And it's good that we actually catch hell now, because we don't want to catch hell when the Lord brings that judgment. Okay, we're more than willing to catch hell right now, because guess what? Me and Ak here, we have the vision to see what that terrible judgment is going to be like through the prophecies, man. We've been taught by our elders that what is about to come down upon this place. Okay, you just don't want to take part in it. Okay, so Lord's will, Yah-weh-Ratazah, okay, the Lord's gonna have mercy upon me and the Ak so that we can avoid, okay, what all you people are about to experience. All right, that's a part of it too. You know, we don't want to get busted up by the Lord like you motherfuckers are about to get. Okay, the Lord's about to put hands on all of y'all, man. You know.
You have more in Sirach 10.
Yeah. Sirach, chapter 10 and verse 3. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited.
Yeah, and that's our people right now. An unwise king destroys his people. You got the wicked ass children. Jake's wicked ass children. They're looking up to all the wrong examples. These fake ass celebrities. And these celebrities, man, these Jake celebrities. Like you had Rihanna's house that got shot. I don't know what that was all about either, but her house got shot by this Jake little young Issacharite chick who looked like she was on MK Ultra. So I don't know what that was all about, but it just shows you, man, that you celebrities, you're gonna get judged, man.
Verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. So everybody that has been ruling previous to this point is unprofitable for the earth. All the heathen nations that have been ruling the earth, okay, and now we're under the Edomite rulership. But the Lord said in due time, which is at the fulfillment of all the prophecies, that's when Yahweh Shai is going to come back and he's going to rule the earth. He's going to be literally king of the world, all right? And King David will be right under him. And right under King David will be the rest of the 144,000, okay? That's what's profitable for the earth, okay? Then the earth will be back in order, all right? And you Edomites will be back in order, in your rightful place, which is where you should be, which is in slavery, in chains, all right? You should be in chains because really you're nothing but cave beasts, all right? You're cave beasts, you're wild men, okay? You're absolutely the lowest and basest of men, like it says in Daniel chapter 4, okay? So you're not profitable for the earth. That's why the earth is going to shit right now. That's why everything sucks. That's why there's always war, okay? People are not happy with their lives, okay? Because of this nigga that's ruling, all right?
More Sirach 10.
I'll go to verse 5. In the hand of God, which is Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, is prosperity of man, and upon the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor. Bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at
Add on that. In the hand of Yahweh, it said right there is what?
It says, in the hand of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai is prosperity of man.
Verse 5 right there?
Yep.
In verse 5, Sirach 10 and 5, in the hand of Yahweh is the prosperity of men. So we're not prospering because we just ain't successful. We just haven't tried. We just ain't trying. We just feel like we just gave up and don't want to sit back and just gloom and doom and be stuck on that. No, we ain't prospering because Yahweh has cursed us. He's done cursed us. We fucked up in a past life, in this life. And so the Lord has to teach our ass this lesson.
That's right. So the Lord is in control of all that, because the scriptures also say it is an easy thing for the Lord to make a poor man rich. Okay?
Look at King David.
Yep.
Look at how King David got from a shepherd to king overnight.
That's right.
So that was just a story right there. It's showing you. Hey, Lord can bless us. in his hand, I can make you rich. I can set you up. Make all these people bow to you, praise you, acknowledge you as the son of Yahweh.
Yeah, that's why we're not tripping, man. We know the Lord's about to set up the nation of Israel as a whole, okay? He's about to set up the elect first, but then the rest of the nation later on. So we're not tripping. We know this ain't our rest, okay? This is not our rest. This is your kingdom, Esau. And really, we don't want to be rich in your kingdom. It's nasty. What are we going to do here? Huh? We still be under the curses, man. All those jakes that sold out and got rich, guess what? They're still under the curses. And now they're going to die too. Okay? So yeah, that was the point of that. I was going to go to Zephaniah real quick. Let me get this. This is Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 1. Woe to her that is filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. She obeyed not the voice, she received not correction, she trusted not in the Lord Yahweh, she drew not near to her God. Her princes within her are roaring lions, her judges are evening wolves. They gnaw at the bones to the marrow. Her prophets are light and treacherous persons. Her priests have polluted the sanctuary, and they have done violence to the law. Okay, that's going into ancient Israel when we were going off as a sovereign nation, but you can extrapolate that, okay, to America today. This place is totally corrupt, all right? These false prophets out here teaching about Jesus Christ, man. Who are you talking about, man? That's not his name. His name is Yahweh.
You saw that one pastor's talking about, y'all gonna start this congregation, you're gonna have to send me your tax returns.
Yeah, that's what he said. Hey, these priests are evening wolves, man. They're walking around devouring their own congregation and whatnot. Those men are going to be destroyed. Okay? T.D. Jakes is going to be destroyed, man. Okay? Creflo Dollar and Philip Anthony Mitchell going to be destroyed. Niggas, man. Okay? Keep going. It says, the just Lord Yahweh is in the midst of thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. Every day the Lord is passing judgment. Okay, so when these things happen, when these things start to happen, like what just happened a couple days ago? Actually, I think that was yesterday, wasn't it? That shooting in what was that at West Bloomfield? I believe that was West Bloomfield 2 days ago. Okay, you had that shooting. Okay, that was a judgment of the Lord, man. All right, you had that shooting in Austin. That was the judgment of the Lord, man. The Lord said every day he brings judgment to light, and he's about to bring a lot more. Okay, it says he faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. And these people don't even consider. They don't even know. All right, they don't even know that the Lord is about to judge their ass. All right, it says, I have cut off the nations, their towers are desolate. I made their streets waste, that none passeth by. Their cities are destroyed, so there is no man that there is none inhabited. I said, surely thou wilt fear me, that will receive instruction, so their dwelling should not be cut off. Howsoever, I punished them, but they rose early and corrupted all their doings. So these people wake up every morning thinking about how much wickedness they can accomplish, man. How much adultery? How many men's wives can I commit adultery with today? You know, how much money can I steal from the poor today? Right? How much pork can I eat today? Right? You know. How many false gods can I pray to today? You know? That's right. That's right. We are Israelites. The real Israelites. You're a fake. You're a Jew. Fake Jews, man. I think she's a Jew. Obviously, we know who Amalek is now. Okay, we know who Amalek is now. Because now these people have been exposed. Actually, I think that's the first time someone that's actually a small hat has actually said something about the sign. Okay? But you know the reason for that? The reason for that is because this sign is making the rounds. this sign is making the rounds. More people are starting to realize what we're talking about. And more people are starting to realize, okay, that those people over there in the land of Israel, okay, are not the people of the Lord. Okay? Elder Malcolm did a wonderful lesson today on the fact that the Israelites were actually a deeply, richly melanated peoples. Okay? Everybody should go watch that lesson. But he hit all the classics. He went to Song of Solomon, okay, Jeremiah 14, you know. He also hit Revelation chapter 4. Okay? These omens that are in the Bible that tell you what would happen to the Lord's people, man. Okay? That's the point. We got 117.
What else can I talk about? Speak on anything? Other news? Woman getting judged. Let's speak on that. The woman is going to get judged.
Oh, yeah.
This past week, a lot of brothers, I saw brothers from Kansas, elder from Kansas, going into, they talking about the woman that's going to get drafted to war. So women are going to be getting judged. We will speak on this and talk about that.
Yep. That's Isaiah. Let me get that.
Yeah, I'll get this first.
Go ahead.
2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 30. Actually 31. Even so in those days. Even so in those days, there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their house with the sword, and the earth shall be laid waste. I'm gonna jump to the point, 33. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms.
Yep.
The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish in famine.
That's right. And he says in the wars. Okay, that war has already started, actually. And that's why all these men are going to get sent over there to the Middle East and die, and leaving their wives here alone in Babylon the Great. Okay? Their wives are going to be out here struggling, trying to survive. But they're not going to be able to, because guess what? Okay, the scriptures are clear when it says that the woman is the weaker vessel. Okay? Let me get this. Isaiah 32 and 9. Rise up, you women that are at ease. Why? Because the women are clearly at ease here in Babylon the Great. Okay? They got it good. They got the system on their side. The power is given into their hand. Okay? They have the systems in place to be able to exercise power over the man. In Jeremiah the 31st chapter, the Lord said he's going to put a curse upon the Israelites where a woman shall come past a man, which means a woman's going to be able to go around the authority of a man. How is she able to do that? By going to Esau, going to the devil, the same way Eve did in the garden.
Yeah, that's why these women will talk to you anyway, or look down, or roll their eyes at you.
Yep.
Especially the black women and stuff like that, because they got Esau to help them.
Yep. Keep reading. It says, "Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear to my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the venture shall fail." Go ahead.
Which the brother got his own testimony on that.
Yep.
How wicked these women is.
Yeah, all these women are out of order, man. All these women got to be handled by the Lord, man. Okay, they're going to find out that really they truly had no power, because what's going to happen? Society is going to collapse, and they're no longer going to have that assistance from Esau. They're no longer going to be able to call Esau, okay, for help. That's when the true dynamic of power is going to.
She almost got hit with that car too.
Oh, really?
So we just told you that Israel.
Oh, that's her?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, she won't get judged, man. Yeah, she gonna get judged, but it's all right. Amalek is just doing their role. They're playing their role. They gotta pretend like they're us. Okay, they gotta claim like they're us when they're really not, and everybody knows it, man. Okay. Plus, a lot of these people out here are drunk already. St. Patrick's Day, wicked ass holiday.
Yeah, and that's why going back to that woman, and that's why Tupac made that song called "Scandalous." going into how scandalous these bitches is, how the mind games they like to play. That's how a woman would work. She would play with your mind, a man's mind.
Yeah, that's actually witchcraft. Okay, that's actually how witchcraft works. Spells. Okay, the manipulation of perception of the mind. Okay, that's what they do, because they know they're the weaker vessel. They can't physically challenge a man, so they have to play with his mind. All right, that's what they do,
and they're very good at it too.
Yep.
If you don't got your spirit in check, you're gonna want to get you'll end up wanting to get carnal.
Yep.
It's happened to me before. These hoes, man.
Yep.
Because they can really get at a minute. They can really. That's why I wanted the scripture say, give me any affliction, but the affliction of a woman.
Yep. Yeah, and these women that have been doing that, and they think they got away with it, but they haven't gotten away. See, the Lord has a special time and place for women like that to get judged. Okay? So let me keep reading here. It says, many days and years shall you be troubled, you careless women, for the vengeance shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. So the gathering shall not come means all the benefits and resources that women are easily able to gather and have access to here in Babylon the Great, that's all over with. No more EBT, no more food stamps, no more WIC, no more any of these government programs, anything that assists these women in society, it's all going to be gone. Okay, they're going to have to rely on what? They're going to have to rely on a man. Okay, and the only man that they're going to be able to rely on, Isaiah 13, is a man of the Lord. Okay, that man that is precious like fine gold. Verse 11, tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled ye careless ones, strip you, make you bare, gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Upon the land my people shall come of thorns and briars, yea, upon all the houses joy in the joyous city. So that means this place is going to be bare, man. There's going to be no resources for these women to have access to the power they have right now. It's all going away. And that includes their protection and their men and their husbands and their fathers and their brothers are going to be sent overseas, man. And the ones that don't get sent overseas are going to die right here in the streets of America through judgment.
Yeah, I saw a video of this woman. Check, it's crazy, man. He was at this wing place, this chicken spot, and this was Judites, and this Cookie and Ray they go regrets. He was like, he punched Keisha in her shit in her face. So that's in this time right now. So imagine when shit gets real heavy.
Yeah, when the lights go out. Imagine when the lights go out, man. It's over with. In general, Babylon is done for, man. In general, our whole message is that Babylon is about to be destroyed. Let me get this. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 1. It says, the word that the Lord Yahweh spake against Babylon, against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations, and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not, say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces. Oh, St. Patrick's Day. It says, Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. It says, yeah, because America's idols, okay, which is that the false ideologies that are encompassing America, because what do you have in America? You have what's called freedom of religion, right? You have freedom of religion in America where you can just worship any God that you want, okay? That's why this place is full of idols. It says, for out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast, in those days and in the time, saith the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, and the children of Judah together, going and weeping, and they shall go and seek the Lord Yahweh their power. So now it's time for us to seek the Lord, okay? So since we are, the Lord has found it prudent in his mind to wake me and Ak up, it is now our responsibility to come out here every single week and tell people what is about to happen. according to the Bible, according to the prophecies.
Until it's shut off.
That's right. Until we no longer do so. Until we receive the order, okay, from Yahweh Shemel Shai through our elders apostles, that we are no longer allowed to come out. Which, by the way, brothers have been saying that's about to happen, man. That's about to happen. This ministry is about to be off of the streets, okay? Which we're actually happy about. When this ministry is off of the streets, because that's the fulfillment of prophecy, man. One more prophecy closer to the return of Yahweh Shai, man. You should be happy about that. All right?
That's one of the, I guess I could say top 3 last major prophecies is word being shut off.
Yep, famine of the word, man.
The mark of the beast.
Yep.
And the third woe.
That's right.
Which we'll close out with that with Revelation 13.
Yep. It's Revelation chapter 13. Start at verse 16. Revelation 13, 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and the image of the beast should both speak, because as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. That means what?
The image of the beast is that satanic new world order they elites want to implement to go higher up in their control power.
Yep. Esau's system. If you don't worship, if you don't get down with the program, they're going to cause you to be killed, which means you could actually be killed, but also the word killed goes into being separated from society. They're going to ostracize you from society. You won't be able to participate. Okay? Verse 16. And he calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. That's that RFID microchip. That's going to be required, mandatory, for you to be able to participate in commerce, okay? In trade, in buying and selling. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom, the him that understandeth count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. All right?
Yeah, and the last major complete prophecy is Yahweh Shai standing above this bitch America as he's delivering up his elect.
That's it. That's it right there. That's what we hope for, man. Hey, everybody that's consider themselves in this truth, you should be thinking about that very event daily. I know I do. I think about going up on a chair. I think about it. I see it. I visualize it, right? The Lord wants you to do that, man. The Lord wants you to see yourself getting beamed up, man. Okay? Standing on a chair, getting a new body. That's the ultimate prophecy right there, man. Being turned back into gods, man. Okay? And avoiding judgment.
So that,
yep.
Shalom.
Shalom.
And Gabar-yah-ahla.
Gabar-yah-ahla.